Hey, good morning, everybody. It is 10:54 a.m. and here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I just want to just speak briefly. Let's give a brief update in the Nipsey Hussle's murder. New evidence uh, just came to my attention. I was watching news this morning, and I watched a few videos on social media, and what there what I learned is that the guy, the alleged murderer of Nipsey Hussle, he goes by the name of Eric Holder. He's the alleged a killer of murderer of Nipsey. Uh, as you know, Nipsey was killed March 31st, and two other folks were also shot in the process, which was Sunday. And the other two guys or suspects or not suspects, victims were they survived, but unfortunately Nipsey himself, he died. They were saying like about an hour after being shot. He died an hour or so later. Uh, and they were also, I watched footage of this, like they had a visual last night uh, in front of his, in a very parking lot where Nipsey was shot. There was a vigil last night. And there were, it appeared to be like thousands of people, like 3,000 people in that parking lot. Yeah, at least 2,000. And unfortunately, there was a disturbance. There were what they're calling it violence, and some people got stampeded. One person, it's been reported that one person was critically injured in a stampede. And then there were, what they were saying, there were like two or three fights that broke out, and police had to was called out to, I guess, disperse the crowd. And very unfortunate that that even that people came out to pay their respects, and this shit happens. Uh, doesn't look good. So I pray for the family. I really pray for Nipsey's family. My condolences go out to them again. And now, the guy Eric Holder, the alleged murderer, uh, mm, it just seems a little sketchy, man. I mean, because I saw the video, the footage leading up to Nipsey's murder, and it's just so damn fuzzy. Why is that video so fuzzy? Why is it so fuzzy? I mean, and then there's cameras all around that mall, all around that area, pretty much across the street. Left, right, even in the alley. And that's the only footage they have shown, and it's so fuzzy. You know, it's so fuzzy. I mean, you can't really make out the people. You can't really. The images are just fuzzy. So I don't know. Maybe the guy is responsible. Maybe Mr. Holder is the killer. I don't know. Uh, but one thing I want to say is that I want to bring up the tweet Nipsey uh, made, or the message he tweeted an hour or so before he died. Some say 30 minutes before he was shot or whatnot, or an hour before he was shot. Uh, the message is having powerful enemies or strong enemies is a blessing. Uh, that's kind of he was saying something, man. Now, when you say powerful enemies or strong enemies is a blessing, who are the strong enemies? Some people speculate that maybe it was a hit. There, Nipsey was just making moves that certain individuals or people in higher echelons of government or people within the police department probably did not want him to make certain moves. I mean, certain moves that they believe will change the status quo, that would interfere with their money. He tried to change the streets. He wanted to be the liaison between the hood and the police department. He had a scheduled meeting with the chief of police as well as the commissioner yesterday, and unfortunately, that did not happen. So the man was making moves, man. He was trying to curb violence in the community. He was trying to bring peace, you know. He wanted to also broker a better relationship between the police department, LA Police Department, and the community. And so the way I see it, man, by him tweeting, having that statement, having powerful enemies is a blessing. I don't know, man. It just don't seem right. I mean, how? I mean, for someone like this dude, the alleged murderer, to just off this brother, you know. Not saying that he didn't. That it could have been out of pure jealousy. Some people say that he had a heated argument with Mr. Holder uh, prior to Nipsey being shot. That so I don't know. There was a disagreement, an argument, and they said dude came back. But some people, there are other folks that are saying no, it's bigger than that. Uh, they're saying that Nipsey has some, he created some powerful enemies, and sometimes, man, when when you try to bring about change, not everyone is down with that. Not everyone they won't accept that, because if violence is profitable to some people, they don't want change. They don't want you to bring about change. They don't want you to interfere with their money flow. So I don't know. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's got to. I think it's bigger than Eric Holder. I believe it is. Uh, the guy could have been, maybe someone put him up to it, but there's also a possibility that, hey, he was just jealous. Some people they've said, I've heard that the guy Eric Holder himself was an informant. He worked with the police department before. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still researching, still learning more about uh, Nipsey, and we'll see, man. It's like information is unfolding as we speak. So uh, I don't know much about Nipsey, and I just started learning some things about him just yesterday. So I would have to say within a 24-hour period, everything that I'm saying to you, everything that I'm and I did a video yesterday too, but everything that I know, all my information, all my knowledge, I've gathered within the last 24 hours. So, but what I've learned and about the guy, he was very inspiring. He was very influential, and yeah, of course, he was with the Rolling 60s. When he was younger, and he made mistakes, and his part. He was into the gang activity, but the man completely, he did a 180-degree turn, 180-degree for transformation to better his life and to give back to the community. And that's beautiful, man. I mean, we all make mistakes. We're all human beings, so we can't sit here and be judgmental of other people, because we've all made mistakes. And he was young, and he figured out, okay, I want to do for myself. I want to do for my community. And that's when he started opening up all these different businesses. He bought the mall, that mall. He bought that mall. He and his brother, they started a little T-shirt company, uh, and then he basically he invested back into the community. He hired people. He was hiring people in the community, ex gangbangers, people that were released from prison, felons or whatnot. He gave them opportunities, and that's a beautiful thing. And sometimes change, man, when you try to bring about change to your community, it doesn't go over well with certain people, you know. So not everyone wants change. You know, uh, this is profitable. Controversy, violence is profitable to some people. So I believe he created some powerful enemies, man. And you know, like I said, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but you got to kind of weigh all the options. You know, all the I'm just throwing out different scenarios here. There are so many variables surrounding this. You know that surrounds this man's death. So I don't, you know, I will do some more research and I'll do another video maybe later today or tomorrow. We'll see. I think that's all I have to say. Let me see. I think there's something else I was thinking about. No, that's it. Well, you guys have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. Stay safe. God bless you and your family.